I'ma say it, Sunday doesn't need a Nova Flare. I don't care. I'm not having this discussion again, man. Woho doesn't deserve a Nova Flare either. Bro sounds dead. I mean, it's like just fucking kicking a dead dog at this point. How many times do I have to say something? People just keep repeating the same thing. These Nova Flares aren't for buffing people who are the weakest to strongest in order. Like, keep in mind, there's Fu Xuan and Luocha that still exist. People can't be happy with anything. Yeah, it's getting to the point where it's like, it just annoys me at this point. Like, I'm not gonna lie, shit like this just makes me realize people in this game will never be happy no matter what. And I'm not even the type to, like, defend a game over not giving enough. But, brother, we've gotten like 6 free limited 5 stars in the last year. We've gotten a shit ton of buffs and now consistent. We've now gotten confirmed standard banner buffs. We know they aren't scared to buff older 1.x characters like Seal anymore, who are already on the 50-50 loss. And then people just keep asking and asking and asking and asking. It's like, I get it, but holy shit, it's miserable, man. I'ma say he should. I didn't say he shouldn't get a Nova Flare. Your first comment is Sunday doesn't need a Nova Flare. If we're talking about need, then you can nitpick a shit ton of units in this game. Like, once again, Ho-Ho doesn't need a Nova Flare either, in all honesty. Which is why I'm just tired of it. Technically, nobody needs a Nova Flare. Even with older DPSs, you can get by clearing in 5 cycles with, like, normal investment. At least for a lot of them. I heard CN people are not happy with Firefly Nova Flare. I bet CN people is gonna be like 2 fucking people on a Tieba post or something. Like it always is when people say CN people. Nova Flare isn't what would benefit him more than a new DPS right now. You can't make a new DPS for Sunday, though, is the problem with this current kit. It needs to be both. Like, for example, even characters who, like, even if you nitpick the worst case scenario for, like, anyone else, right? Against Sunday, like Eggy probably, right? You have Eggy, who is a remembrance character, almost full uptime on Sunday buffs, loves ER gen. Buff Sparkle is still competitive to Sunday, just because of how much stronger her amp is. Like, he needs a Nova Flare if he wants to be competitive at all. If you try to make a DPS that only wants Sunday by a large margin without Nova Flaring him, you then brick all alternative support options, which is significantly worse. Talks about CN being unhappy with 4.2 buffs. I just doubt it, man. I really fucking doubt it. I'm not gonna lie. I remember the last time someone told me CN was unhappy about something. It was literally just one small post on like Twitter, and that was fucking it. And then we found out that actually a majority, oh yeah, it was the global passive. It was the global passive. There were like some people from CN who said they hated the global passive, and then you would see like a vast majority just did not give a fuck about the global passive at all, or were happy about it. I guarantee you most of CN is happy. You're probably just looking at a minority. I'm not playing Bleach Soul Resonance. Too many gotchas, man. Tired.
Can we please keep going like this forever?
No, the likelihood that it's on the 17th is way higher than anything else. But yeah, it could be later, but There is a much higher likelihood it's the 17th. 17th is like what all the leakers originally agreed upon.
Non-family friendly. Fortune favors the proud to scatter. Feeling spiffy? Can you find the answer?
Guys, it's leakers, man. Like, I had to go through this mid-info. I might have to make a video on it again to remind people what leakers are. 1, leaks are always STC. 2, leaks can change. Like, you guys really need to stop taking leaks as like concrete official information that can't be changed and then getting mad that it doesn't happen. Like, things not happening after a leak is normal. This entire community just got spoiled by Anon leaks.
Soaring above the lands, this is permanent!
An explosive start.
Tuning mistake.
Yes, and Anon leaks was an exception to most leakers, guys. Come on. Stop holding everybody to the standard of Anon leaks if they clearly don't have the track record for it. HomDGCat is also a data miner. They don't actually leak. They just look in the fucking files of the game.
That omen. Don't thank me.
Waiting for beta to see if EMC is better than Yao Guang. That's just not gonna happen. I'm sorry, it's just not gonna happen. You can wait for it though, sure.
Dance, not yet time to Ninja runaway fast technique. Let's seize this fine moment. Unite our goals. Rotate HPT. You want to betray me? Cosmic move. Ninjutsu secret technique. Dazzling obliteration. Ha! Please. There'll be a cloud scattered. Immolate in my dance. Memories. Small dance. So beautiful. Dazzling Ninja reporting for duty. Please. Can't wait anymore. This is getting fun. Mask shatter. Please. Cosmic Ninjutsu secret technique. Dazzling obliteration. Please. Falling for me, I'll etch in your bones. Dream vanished. Dreams of a. Let us dance once more.
Hyacine Lycone? I just don't care about Hyacine Lycone for Cassie. For my team, Hyacine E1 matters more. The Lycone used to be competitive with E1 Cassie, or sorry, the Lycone used to be competitive with E1 Hyacine, pre-Evernight. But you guys need to keep in mind, Evernight puts like 30 or 40% vuln on enemies. So the vuln buff gets a little saturated. And all you're really left with is like the little bit of HP drain and the increased Eco damage. And that's it. For Mono Rem, I'd imagine, well, Mono Rem with Cassie, E1 Hyacine is better. If you're running like Evernight Hyper Carry, then yeah, the Lycone matters more probably.
You want to betray me? And last word. Immolate in my dance.
Yeah, you don't need to pull Yao Guang, but EMC is not going to be better than Yao Guang, that's for sure. Well, actually, for Evanescia, you probably really want to pull Yao Guang just because there's no other. She doesn't have a Sparksy like fucking Silverwolf does.
A will of metal and stone.
Watch this.
Earth shatters, heaven trembles.
The game is on. Feel sticky? Can you find the answer? Are you the West Wind? Let me go!
Dragons soaring above the lands. This is permanent.
Let's play.
My return.
I mean, EMC isn't gonna be as strong as Yao Guang, guys. Like, no offense. If that leak of EMC's kit being that he can replicate one teammate's elation skill is true, that shit is way worse of an alternative than I originally thought he'd have to Yao Guang's out of turn aha instant. Like, that shit is way weaker than Yao Guang's. It's not even really close. I imagine at minimum it'll be like a 20 to 30% increase getting Yao Guang over EMC on like a Silverwolf team at least.
Reach out to me for Perlux Corp.
Thank you so much for your help this time. Please.
He might have more, who knows? I mean, it's just like, I'm not gonna have this conversation again, man. It's just such a stupid conversation to have. It's just mind blowing that people think Yao Guang isn't gonna be good, or even moderately better than EMC as a limited character. Shit is just, there's no point in trying to have this convo again. EMC is gonna be T0 because the strongest teams in the game are Elation. It's really that simple. Ceridra was also T0 when Phanon was T0. Phanon dropped to T0.5 on Pride when Ceridra dropped to T0.5. Bro's not in a good mood today. I'm so tired. So tired of these repeating fucking discussions like 50 times already within the last couple weeks. I explain it, literally the same people have heard me explain it. They don't care. I mean, there's no point in having a conversation about it anymore, bro. I don't know. I just feel like no one listens to me. So there's no point in me speaking anymore.
Thank you so much for your honesty. If you want to keep going, get over 7.
Excuse me, can I have my bill?
Tactician, if you keep trying to instigate this Firefly shit, I will just ban you.
Just how is anyone?
I already told you about this so many fucking times. I'm really tired of giving warnings. Stop trying to purposely be an asshole in the chat for attention. It's getting annoying at this point.
Unlimited free drinks. Thank you so much. If you want to keep going, get over 7.
Guys, there's not even any Hayuki leaks. How am I supposed to know how good she is? Glacial Dot has nothing to fucking do with character strength, bro. Like, what? I mean, who's surprised that 4.1 is a dry patch, man? That shit's 4 weeks long. The objective of a Nova Flare is to update outdated kits, Tactician. We can play who say this, that. The point of a Nova Flare is to update outdated character kits that are not modern. This is the last time I'll talk about this shit, man. People made up their own definition of what the Nova Flares they want them to be, because that fits their fucking whatever imagination of what's most optimal. All Nova Flares are is updating an older character's kit to be more modern. Firefly's kit isn't modern in the fucking slightest. In fact, it's one of the kits with the most holes of any DPS in the entirety of this game.
Excuse me, can I have my bill?
By the way, all you idiots who wanted to use, oh, but Firefly can get a 0 cycle against a perfect boss for her. I checked sk.theherda.com. The lowest cost zero cycle Firefly currently has against fucking Lygus is 8 cost without battle pass cones. 8. That is the same as Acheron currently against most bosses. People who think she doesn't need a Nova Flare are stupid. I cannot put it any other way. It is just stupid. Firefly falls off so much in mainly pure single target when ads barely play a part in the damage share.
Look at me!
Just how easy?
Firefly should have gotten Nova Flare a bit later. It doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter. We are getting like 30% HP inflation in 4.1. We are going to get more HP inflation in upcoming patches. Firefly's Nova Flare is on 4.2 after said HP inflation. I agree, Zeph. But the point is, everybody who is against Firefly Nova Flares are people who nitpick clears against favorable bosses or incredibly easy bosses, sustainless with battle pass cones, and some of the most disgusting relic investment possible to say this character doesn't deserve a Nova Flare because look at this performance, right? I did the same thing on my community post, showed people how strong Doc can be if they're put in a favorable position without even Nova Swan or Nova Huohuo or this and that. And they're in the comments talking about how it's unfair and you're nitpicking a lineup that is favorable to Doc. Like, this is what fucking annoys me. You can do this for every single DPS in the fucking game. Give them a favorable boss, make them look good, and then say they don't need a Nova Flare because your favorite character deserves it more. The HP inflation isn't for Ashvale. The HP inflation is probably for the Elation teams. Mostly Silverwolf. Firefly getting a Nova before Acheron is crazy work, but it isn't. Why do you guys say this? Like, genuinely. You guys realize Acheron was the one getting all these teammate buffs during V3 while Firefly was getting nothing, right? At least until she got Dahlia. Acheron got Nova Silverwolf. Acheron got Hyacine with Lycone as a best in slot sustain. Acheron got E2 Silverwolf. Acheron got Cypher. Acheron has the significantly stronger base kit. It's mostly just her Eidolons that are completely fucking cheeks. I mean, I agree, like her, but people just want to constantly fucking stretch it. It's so annoying. Yeah, if Jiaoqi's getting Nova Flare like that leak said, that's another Acheron buff before she even gets a Nova Flare.
Thank you so much for your help
Like, this is what I've been trying to say over and over and over again. I'm not biased to Firefly. Like, I want the Firefly treatment for literally every DPS. Because if you only Nova Flare the DPS but give them no dedicated support, or if you give a dedicated support but don't Nova Flare the DPS, either one of these two ways, the Nova Flare ends up being useless like half a year later. And this is exactly what happened to Blade and Jingliu. They were temporarily very strong for tackling endgame content at that time, but over time, once more HP inflation hit, more power creep, these days everybody makes fun of their Nova Flare. The same thing would happen to Firefly, right? If you don't Nova Flare Firefly for, like, let's say the rest of this version, because, oh, Dahlia, she'd be in the fucking trenches halfway through V4. I can almost guarantee it. She'd be in the fucking trenches. She just got Dahlia, and Dot just got Nova Swan, Nova Kafka, could have gotten Nova Kafka for free, got Heislands, who is a Dahlia equivalent, has better vertical investment than Dahlia for the Dot team, is getting Nova Huohuo, who is going to be an insane buff for their sustain teams, and they're getting fucking Nova Jiaoqiu. Shut up. Shut up. Stop saying Firefly. Shut up. Bring up Dot. No one ever brings up Dot in my chat. No one ever brings up Dot. It's always Firefly, Firefly, Firefly. Holy fuck. Like, the bias couldn't be any more fucking obvious, man. Heislands is so much weaker for Dot compared to Dahlia. Are you dumb? Oh my god, there's no way you just said that. Oh, brother. Have you seen Heisland's list Dot clears pre? Oh my god.
Have you heard? They're already arguing online. Reach out to me for more.
Dot got Heislands. It doesn't matter, man. Shut up. Please. Use your brain. You guys will for some reason say Dot was in the gutter for the majority of version 3. What was Firefly then? Firefly was in the gutter. She barely got buffed by Fugue. Lingsha did fuck all for her sustain team. The majority of V3 until Dahlia, Firefly was needing double-digit cost to get some zero cycles off with some of the highest relic investment in the entirety of the game. It applies to both of them.
Get upset when I want to keep going.
Thank you so much for your help, Krista.
Did dot buffs ever raise the ceiling? Firefly buff will probably be stronger than any current DPS. Firefly buff isn't going to raise the ceiling. Are you slow? Dude, we are getting Evanesia and a Mono Elation Silverwolf team with buffed Woho on 4.2. If you think Firefly is actually going to be stronger, than those two DPSs, you are smoking some insane fucking shit. Still stronger than any current team? Yeah, and what about it? What about it? Why is that bad? All the current teams are going to end up getting what? A Nova Flare in 1 year. And then they're going to be stronger than a majority of the V4 teams. And then the V4 teams are going to get Nova Flared in a year. And then they're going to get the same thing. Use your brain. Who cares? Like, genuinely, are you gonna tell someone that on 4.2 it's best to invest into Firefly now that she's gotten a Nova Flare with Dahlia just because she looks strong with that alone, instead of going for a Silverwolf team who isn't even completed yet, probably has better verticals, has more synergy with the base kits? Like, no. That's not gonna happen even after Firefly Nova Flare. Yes, but who cares about being stronger than earlier DPSs if those said earlier DPSs are going to get Nova Flared eventually as well, and a lot of them have better verticals than Firefly's team anyways. Like, think. There's no difference. Everybody in the end gets the same Nova Flare treatment. Everybody in the end ends up being stronger than a majority of previous versions DPSs when they end up getting Nova Flared. It's normal. Like, it's actually it's insane to me. People hate a character so much, and they're so jealous that they are literally advocating for the game buffing characters less because their favorite character isn't the one receiving the buff. This is, you want older characters to get worse buffs. Why? Why? No, exactly, Yali. And here's the thing. I feel like a lot of people, I think, are overestimating what these Firefly buffs are going to be. Every single time I've talked about Firefly's buffs, I don't know if you guys have realized it, it's literally only been QOL. Not one fucking time in my life have I mentioned buffing her multipliers. I've mentioned shit like you know, adding less restrictions in her kit, making her SP neutral or SP positive in base kit, updating the Eidolons, maybe adding extra turn. I've never once talked about fucking multipliers, man. They could do that, and they might. However, there's a real chance they just don't overdo it on the Firefly buff. You know? It could be more like a Black Swan situation, right? And a Black Swan situation is where, yes, Nova Swan is a lot better than she used to be, but Cyrene can still be competitive in value to a Nova Swan on the dot team. Like, it'll be a buff, but overall team DPS wise, it wouldn't be astronomically different. Yeah, I know, Agsy, but like, in the grand scheme of things, because the dot team has so many different people doing damage, it's like kind of here nor there. Firefly is actual like hyper carry. She carries most of the damage. I've seen people talking about how making Firefly's E2 go into base is too strong. And it's like, these people do not know how strong Evernight E2 and Faye E2 are, man. They could easily do that shit, buff the E2 and it'd still be weaker.
Thank you so much for your help this time.
Why do people hate characters in this game? It's just jealousy. Once again, like, even if we move away from like, oh, you know, Firefly this and that, Huohuo is one of the sustains who least needs a buff. Like, no one's complaining about Huohuo getting buffed. There's fucking Luocha, there's Fu Xuan, there's Ling Sha, there's multiple other sustains who could use a buff right now before Huohuo. Huohuo is honestly more meta than even Avon currently. And she's the sustain who's getting buffed instead, in the place of all of those. Huohuo has sustain issues. Every old sustain has sustain issues. Everyone. This is something you could say across the board. But the point is, Huohuo's at the top of sustains with sustain issues because of her buffs in comparison to the other ones.
Thank you so much for your help this time.
It's insane to me that people can't see how unbalanced that is. Then complain about Dot. Once again, I'm tired of this fucking, you know, favoritism of, oh, this character is bad. Where was this for Dot? Where was it for Dot, man? It wasn't anywhere. It didn't fucking exist. It was nowhere for Dot. They literally just made Archer with buff Sparkle stronger than almost all the Ampho teams with fucking their best in slot teammates like Cyrene Saridra, and everybody's happy. Everybody's celebrating. Everybody's saying, yay! Yeah, also, you're saying it's unbalanced when she's not even going to be like the strongest team in the game. How in the world is that unbalanced? That's like saying Sigrika's unbalanced. That's like saying Gion's unbalanced because they buffed him to be on the level of like Sigrika or something. Like that's not how it fucking works. Bro, Tactician, I am trying my hardest not to ban you. Stop being a bitch. I'm being dead serious. Like, you saying shit like that with that type of like sarcastic tone is just annoying. Because you know you're instigating. You've done this a million times over in my stream over and over and over again. There's no point in trying to act like you're some like innocent victim. This shit's like the Saint Tone Taz tactic that he pulls. He does a bunch of bullshit, then tries to straw man arguments for why he's the victim. Like, it's just embarrassing, bro. Like, out of everything you've said today, that one comment alone has made me more inclined to ban you than anything else you've said. You pulled this too? Explain. What did I pull that's similar to this? The amount of times you be whining about Kurobots in your community posts? When's the last time I've made a post whining about Kurobots, quote unquote? And the Wua community is one of the most toxic of all the mainstream ones. I don't know why you're pretending they aren't. What? Like, every time I make a Wua video on anything, people are either incredibly elitist or they just defend the game over fucking anything. Even the most obvious shit that isn't fucking garbage. Like, what do you want me to do? I was literally talking about this on stream yesterday. HSR and Wua are the opposite. Wua could do almost fucking nothing for half a year, and it would still get overglazed on social media and constantly compared to other games. HSR has given 6 free 5 stars, a shit ton of QOL, skip button, tons of character buffs, and it's still just hit pieces on HSR being a bad game. You be shitting on them over everything? I'm the one that gets shit on by Wua players for literally any type of criticism I put out for that game. Any. It's only as of recent that it's slowed down, in which you would realize, as of recent, I haven't been making posts complaining about community for Wua. Like, can we use our brains? The biggest CCs in the entirety of the Wua space are people who just compare games disingenuously, and I have to deal with the fucking goblins that come from those content creators' videos. All of the most popular Hoyo CCs are guide makers, or people who make content on the actual game, talk about the story, shit like that. I deadass have never seen a Hoyo player try and make a hit piece on how bad Wua is in my entire life. And I put that on God. On my YouTube recommended, I've never seen this shit happen once in my fucking life. The day you make a post even half as whiny about your HSR fan base, I will respect you as a CC. Are you retarded? I'm being dead ass. Are you actually fucking retarded? Do you have any idea how many videos I've made at this point talking about how fucking whiny this community is, and every single character beta drives me nuts? I made like 10 videos talking about these idiotic Yao Guang Doom posters. I talk about Phanon beta, how people overly Doom post. I've talked about this shit 10 times more than my Wua communities. What are you talking about? I'm talking about your HSR fan base. I literally made a community post like a couple months ago telling people, both on the HSR and Wua side of things on my channel, that I am banning you if you are an annoying piece of shit. And literally, you can watch yesterday's fucking live stream, I had people being annoying about Woowa and saying that it's on a filler patch and they haven't heard anything about it. And I said, I don't agree with what you guys are saying, and I'm tired of the fucking blind Woowa dooming. But you wouldn't know that, because you don't fucking watch me, man. Like, holy shit.
Turn over this eternal page.
Holy fuck, it's all, but Woowa, but why don't you keep the same energy for your HSR fan base? It's always this bullshit, man. It's always this fucking bullshit. I literally made my entire channel off of calling out the fucking HSR fan base. The HP inflation, how idiotic they were, thinking that shit wouldn't continue. The fact you guys think I have some bias towards this game, or like bias towards the community, it's just so fucking stupid. Bias dog? Alright, man. Can't bring up anything. Countless videos, countless community posts. Over and over again, I talk about it on stream. Oh, but you're wrong. Like, shut the fuck up, man.
Thank you so much for your What's the Kano Kazakan collection?
My Hyoscene Z00, should I try for S1 or just save for Cyrene? I mean, what's the DPS? Is it Monorem or Evernight? I think the funniest part about people coming to my channel and trying to say I'm like biased and I like hate my HSR community. There isn't a single person on the entirety of my channel who has been more annoying than Tactician. Tactician has come from the Woowa side of my content. And I haven't banned this guy in all this time, despite all the bullshit he's been trying to instigate across everything. And these people will then come to me and say I am biased and I just hate the fucking Woowa side of my viewer base. I haven't banned Tactician. Tactician's still there. Tactician can be an annoying piece of shit a lot of the time, but Tactician brings some genuine discussion sometimes as well. I value genuine discussion over anything else. So that's like the only thing that's been keeping the guy here. He sometimes comes and doesn't instigate. And he actually talks about shit where it's like, you know, kind of interesting. I feel like your chat is quite biased towards HSR, and I agree. I'm not going to argue against that. I know this. You think I'm not aware of this as the fucking creator of this channel? I'm aware. I mean, it's kind of obvious because my main content has been HSR for the last 2 years. But, yeah, like, I know. And like I said in yesterday's stream, I don't always agree with my chat and how overly doom posty they can be when it comes to Woowa. I've already said this openly. I'm not fucking scared of, like, you know, people unsubbing to me for me saying that shit. Everybody, I don't know, treats games differently and shit. I'm not them, though. Yeah, but you think I'm not tired of it either, Yelan? Like, I get tired of it as well. Once again, I've made community posts and videos asking for people to try their best to get along on my channel because I understand, like, these two communities are so used to from, fucking having wars with each other, and playing both of the games at the same time on one channel does lead to some community issues. I don't agree, once again, with the majority of, like, Doom Posty Lua comments on my community post. I don't. I've already said this a million times. There's just nothing I can do to control it. I literally used to go on, like, banning sprees for the Hoyo viewers on my channels who were going way too extreme with the Wua dooming. But it barely helped, man. Like, there's always someone new upcoming that ends up being the same. It's like, what I do most of the time now is I just don't read the comments. I just don't read the comments on shit like that. I appreciate that, Faye. E0S1 Castris, E0S1 Evernight, High Scene, E0S0, no Cyrene. Sorry for the spam, just trying to get your opinion. No, it's okay.
Scenes of past reverie, drifting by one after another.
S1 or save for Cyrene? Cyrene. Cyrene. I'd get Cyrene instead of Hyacine's S1. Because you have, wait, you have Evernight, right? Yeah. Cyrene's a pretty big jump for the team. I think bigger than Hyacine's Lycone, so.
This story does.
I don't know what happened to Glaive. I saw on Twitter, he said probably the dumbest shit I've ever seen. He believes in a conspiracy theory that HSR withholds their live stream dates, waits for Wua to announce theirs, and then after announces a live stream date on the same day as Wua's. And his conspiracy theory is that they do this to, like, sabotage Wua popularity or some bullshit. And I saw him getting fucking cooked for it. He was getting cooked for it. I mean, once again, I've talked about this before. A lot of the Wua space, like the Wua CCs, like Glaive and like Satan and shit, I don't really consider them Wua CCs. Like, you cannot deny though. You cannot deny it is a majority Wua players who support these CCs, but they barely talk about Wua in general, and they make so much more content around drama and hating on other channels and other games that I don't really consider them the same as, like, Wua community necessarily. Yeah, it's like just drama farming content, and like, once again, these people like to use the name of Wua and use it to attack other people in other games, and like how good it is doing currently. They don't really talk about how great Wua is itself most of the time. It's just fucking using it to slander other shit. it's better to watch Hoyo CCs that play Wuwa. Yeah, I mean, like, once again, I wasn't joking when I said this earlier. I've never seen once in my life on my YouTube recommended, like, a decently popular Hoyo CC make, like, or try to make a hit piece on Wuwa. Like, I don't know. It just isn't a thing really among the Hoyo CCs to try and make hit pieces on other games. Talk about how much better Genshin and HSR are. It doesn't really exist. Saying got hella boosted by Techie. I mean, yeah, I know. At the end of the day, that is part of it. I mean, it's like, what are you gonna do, man? Well, I don't watch him, Yelan, so I wouldn't know. Like, Wu is a good game. Truthfully, I don't have many complaints when it comes to Wuwa. And I've talked about this before. This is a real story, right? Like, this is real. I stopped playing Wuwa when I started really getting to HSR and Penacony. I gave it a shot for the first few patches, took a long ass break from it, right? Even when I took a long break from Wuwa, and I was only playing HSR for so and so long, every time someone came into my chat, because this question would obviously be asked every once in a while, you know, what do you think is the best, like, gacha game on the market currently, right? Or do you think HSR is the best gacha game on the market? And I always said no, I think it's Wuwa. Every single time. Not once did I ever say I think HSR is better than Wuwa. And that's when I didn't even play it, right? I have no hate for Wuwa. I played that shit on release. I played multiple counts on it at this point. I love the game. The anniversary was really fucking disappointing. So yeah, I farmed the anniversary because I thought it would be way better. But outside of that, I mean, they've still been doing a pretty good job. Yeah, exactly. The reason I take breaks from WUA so often is because it's open world. I'm not gonna lie, as I've gotten older, I've just cared less and less for open world. And I've really appreciated the convenience of like HSR, which is why if you guys saw it yesterday, I made a community post talking about like why are there so many Genshin competitors, but there isn't really any HSR ones. Like I want HSR to have competition. I've actually been another thing I've been asking for quite a while now openly is for Kuro to make a competitor to HSR. Like just something. I need an HSR competitor, man. Because I know I'd fucking love it if it was done right. Blue Archive? No face shower rerun for me to pull on? Rest in peace, Uni. Full pull count is out. We're getting 90 pulls in 4.1. Not bad. Keep in mind, though, that is with fully completing the new DU. So it's unrealistic, by the way. Most of you are probably only going to get like 60 to 70. But yeah, that's good. Yeah, for a 4-week patch, it's not bad at all. So we have 90 pulls, and Annie's going to be 120. Annie is always 120. Every single big patch in HSR is always 120 pulls, basically. 120 or a little higher. So that's pretty good. They didn't even show Fei Xiao team? Wait, really? I didn't watch the stream. I just saw like a few things posted on Reddit, so I could like put it on the community post, like the banners and stuff. But yeah, I guess that goes to prove
Scenes of past reverie.
that goes to prove what Anon said, which is that they clearly don't want you pulling Asheville for Fei Xiao. They want you pulling Asheville for someone else. Show the Sunday team. uh... Yeah, I hope Fei Xiao gets a Nova Flare soon. Is a Nova Flare coming out in 4.1? No, the Nova Flares are coming out in 4.2. They haven't even done beta testing for the Nova Flares yet, so... I find the Hyacine rerun pretty unexpected. Well, I considered it a possibility, but I thought they might rerun her in 4.2, but I guess not, so I'm gonna grab that E1 Hyacine. Cause I'm on like fat character pity right now, guys. Look at this shit. I'm on fat character pity, and I have like 25 Lycone banner. I could even go for Hyacine's Lycone in all honesty, and still get Evanescea, by the way. So I'm at 68 character pity, 25 Lycone. Yeah, E1 would be so nice. I keep running into this issue with my Cassie, and I've talked about it a little bit ago. The E2 action advance on Cassie's, like right here, this shit is useless for me most of the time, because, like, for example, majority of the time, by the time I get Cassie ult, she's like 10 AV away. But with E1, yeah, I'd probably be able to save significantly more AV on Cassie turns, which I'd love. Hyari run is bait, maybe for others, but not for me. I already have a fucking 10 cost mono rem team. Yeah, this is my main account. E2 Hyacine brings that problem again. That's why I'm not getting the E2 and instead I'm getting the S1. I was low-key thinking about that, Yumi. I was thinking about it, and I was like, do I go for E2 Hyacine or do I get E1 S1? And then I thought of the possibility that maybe the speed buff brings that issue back again, so I was like, hey, maybe I'll grab the S1 instead. 10 cost? Cassie E2 S1, Evernight E2 S1, and then E0 S0 on Cyrene Hyacine. Hope you've been well. Well, the start of this stream was pretty rough, but yeah, I'm doing pretty good now. E2 being a downgrade is crazy. I mean, it isn't a downgrade. It just, yeah, it's weird. Cassie's E2 action advance can be pretty scuffed at times. This stream was a wild ride, yeah. I feel like I'm just becoming more and more tired of trying to give people the benefit of the doubt on my streams, even when they're annoying. And yeah, I mean, I was just like brutally honest.
Excuse me. Can I have them?
Yeah, that's literally exactly what it was, Max.
Look at me! We tried every single area. Just how is any?
You consider yourself a vertical investment, polar or horizontal? Vertical. It's not even a question. You have my Mono Rem team. You have my E6 Anoxa team with E2 Seri. My Firefly account has E2 Firefly. Has Premium Dot with E1 Heistland's investment and some light cones. I always do vertical.
Thank you so much for your help this time. If you want to keep going, get up, silly.
By the way, I would like to say, I used to think because of like E2 Fae and shit that I'd change my mind on the vertical versus horizontal thing. I think horizontal is still better than vertical. I'm not gonna lie. We'll finally see when the new Annie characters come out for Elation, but like, I don't know. If they make them significantly stronger, like I think they will, and it's at the point where like even an E2 Phanon can't compete, I'll probably go back to horizontal investment is better.
Comic-Con Collective.
Thank you so much for your help this time. Please continue. If you want to keep going, don't go over my get up, silly.
Buy out all the
I feel like a lot of people underestimate even current Ashvale, right?
Excuse me. Can I have
Current Ashvale, mainly a sub DPS, doesn't have good main DPS verticals, at least in my opinion. They aren't anything crazy, right? Ashvale has no dedicated supports. He's just using random generalists. And I understand, it's not that Ashvale is anything game breaking, but what's so impressive about Ashvale is that in sustain teams, without any dedicated supports, he can be competitive to, like, let's say an Anoxa with his dedicated supports in a sustain team against end game content, right? Like, that is a lot more impressive than people realize. Because if you put a Noxa with the same generalist supports you're running, let's say, Ashvale with, and you run him sustain, you aren't getting anywhere near that performance. It's not happening. Ashvale is, at base, way stronger than a Noxa.
Look at me! We tried every single area. Just how is any?
Yeah, Ashvale is also, like, way better at being a sub DPS than fucking Anoxa, in all honesty. Ashvale has some really good hunky buffs on him, chunky buffs.
reach out to me for Perlex support?
E2 Phanon doesn't even 2-cycle next AA. I saw something funny. it seems like even when it comes to MOC, at least for 4.1, Phanon, the reign has ended. And by this I mean, I think he can't 3 cost 0 cycle that MOC with Kafka. He needs 4 cost.
Thank you so much for your help this time.
Now, here's the funny part, right? It's funny because it fits my agenda of Sari being cheeks. This 4 cost clear uses Faye with his Lycone at E2 instead of Sari.
Look at me! We tried every single area. Just how is anyone supposed to?
But double meteors? Oh, there is a 3 cost 0 cycle? Fuck! How? Dude, it's fucking fat. That needs to be like max subs. There's no way, man.
That depends on your performance.
I see an Anoxa one. I don't see a Faye one, though. The most recent Faye one is from Flarps. And it's 4 cost.
This story deserves a perfect ending. Don't you think?
Yeah, I know Anoxa can do it. Sustainless RMC Anoxa is just like
Scenes of past
kind of bullshit.
drifting
but-
by, one after another.
He benefits a lot from RMC and Mem giving the when Mem acts, giving the extra shit. Extra future to Cyrene stack. Sari is more of a buff to Anoxa than Phanon. I mean, it depends. I would like to add caveat, you know, need Cyrene. If you don't have Cyrene, Saridra is definitely worse for Anoxa in all honesty. But if you have Cyrene, yeah, it feels like she's more of a dedicated Anoxa support than a Phanon one. Oh, my bad. It's a 4 cost indeed. Didn't count the light code. At least it's still better than the Herda. Yeah. All good. Yeah, so it seems Faye needs 4 cost to 0 cycle that Kafka. Firefly stronger than Faye? I mean, once again, it really depends what you define as stronger. Generally, yes, team-wise. Well, actually, no, I'd still say Phanon is at E2 is way fucking better against Pure Fiction and APOC than Firefly probably. But that aside, well, maybe not APOC, but definitely Pure Fiction. That aside, this is another situation of like Phanon is Firefly, you know. Phanon is the Firefly of 3.x. If you give Phanon a Dahlia or a Nova, he's kind of stupid broken.
Look at me! We tried every single area. Just how is...
Yeah. Either way, here's the best part, right? Listen, listen, listen. Guys, this isn't Cope, right? I know Anoxa is one of the less popular Chrysos heirs, so it'll probably take longer for him to get a buff. But surely they buff Ceridra for Faye, right? And then that's an indirect buff for my Anoxa. What are we thinking here? Is this like Bitcoin investment with my E2 Seri? Think about it. Think about it. Oh my god. Just thinking about it, man. A year from now, I might have a Nova Noxa at E6 with Nova Ceridra at E2. Oh, Hoyo. Thank you. Truly. Thank you. Honkai Future Rail at its best? Yeah. I mean, now that Nova Flares exist, I'm gonna be honest, like, doing some dumb levels of vertical investment on a DPS team, like, it actually works. It's not as bad value as it used to be. Because your characters can get buffed. The first Nova has to be Herda for 3.x units. Maybe? I don't know. The thing when it comes to Herda is, I know she's definitely weaker than majority of the Ampho units, right? But it's, in my opinion, she doesn't really have base kit problems. At least not that much. It's really just that the Ampho units got like way bigger jumps from their best in slot supports as compared to what the Herda got. Like I could see them maybe increasing Herda's damage in lower target scenarios. I could definitely see that for sure. Like, to be honest, Everknight's E1 should have been on Anoxa. In all honesty, this E1 makes way less sense on this team as compared to as a teammate on Herda's team. And this would have increased Herda's longevity way, way, way more. I don't know why they decided to like kind of shaft Herda.
Excuse me, can I have the bill?
Then Anoxa would have been top 1. I mean, against multi-target, it's not even all that much stronger than his own current E1. But in single target, yeah, he'd be significantly stronger, but it's like, so what? You make Anoxa a little stronger, and in turn, you make an old DPS significantly more viable, more people invest in them. In my opinion, it's worth it, even if an Anoxa becomes stronger.
Thank you so much for your help this time. If you want to keep going, get on the zip. Great. Fly up.
Oh, really, Randy? I didn't know that. Yeah. Oh, I know for sure if Anoxa ends up getting Nova Flared eventually, they'll definitely just turn his... Anoxa might actually get the biggest glow up in Eidolons. from any Nova Flare DPS. Because it does seem like they've literally given up on this guy. They've kind of given up on making him a sub DPS for Herda. And like halfway through Ampho, they realized it'd be better to make him a main DPS. I'd say probably around Saridra's beta. I think they realized around midway through Saridra's beta that going mainly main DPS for him would be better. So his E1 and E2 definitely need to get buffed. Like these two are just holding him back so much in terms of early vertical. The stats, I don't have an Oxa built on this account. I just pulled them to pull them. What do you think about a Ruan May Nova? If they made a Ruan May Nova, I mean, they made Dahlia. Ruan May would probably end up replacing Fugue. Because Fugue isn't even that much better than Ruan May to begin with, at least for like Firefly. Because when it comes to Novas, once again, you have to think of it in, what's it called? Like, if they are Nova flaring Ruan May, she has to help Hoyo sell another character, right? So she needs to either power creep Fugue, or she needs to be in like a new break team that doesn't want Fugue for whatever reason. Yeah, or they could pull a Jiao of what people want with Jiao. Because of her delay and all that shit, you could make her into a break sustain, I guess. Yeah, you could pull a Jiao and make her a sustain. Depending on how strong they make Nova Huohuo, I may believe it. Depends on how much they buff her buffing capability and shit. Yeah, I also think a Lingsha Nova would probably be more likely if they wanted to make a break sustain, but... I don't know what Sunday Nova Flare is for. Probably Himeko. If the buff is in 4.4 and if it's real, it would probably be no one other than Himeko. Now, this doesn't mean he'd be best in slot. It just means he'd be a good filler option. Because, for example, the person who leaked... Oh my god, voice crack. The person who leaked that thing of Jiao Sunday Nova Flares said that they believe Welt is going to get Giga buffed, and it's going to be targeted for Himeko's team. So, if Himeko, for whatever reason, wants, like, Astral Express members on her team, then you could put Sunday in there as well. Because I could be wrong. I think Sunday counts as a Astral Express member on Currency Wars. I could be wrong though. He does, yeah. Wasn't there a leak of Himeko's team consisting of full female? Well, this is once again, about filler teammates, Agzi. Like filler teammates. Like temporary best in slot. I'm not saying best in slot forever. Like Welt is not gonna, if Welt is truly for Himeko, he's obviously gonna get kicked out. I mean, he's a standard character.
Anyone with a high-level cosmic consciousness?
Himeko break? I mean, I don't know. You think Himeko will still be break focused? If Welt is supposed to be for Himeko, probably not. I can't see any way they'd make Welt a fucking break character. Well, actually, there's two other Nihilities who are break characters. So maybe I'm over exaggerating, but it'd be a wild turn in Kit. You know what I'm saying? It's like it would be more wild than when they made Jingliu a full-on HP scaler through her Nova. Do we know what Silverwolf's full team is already? On release, it's going to be definitely Yao Guang, Sparksy, and buffed Woho probably for sustain team. Sustainless maybe EMC. I'm glad Hyacine came earlier. I will make a few videos probably on E1/E1S1 Hyacine. Depends on how lucky I get. If I lose a 50-50, then I might have to go for like S1. But if I'm able to get the E1, I'll make a few fun videos so you guys can see how overpowered the account is. 12 cost mono rem team if I'm able to get E1S1. Came at a perfect time for me. Sorry to hear that for you guys, though. Because this account is going for Evanesia, I have the second half of 4.1, and I have the entirety of 4.2 for Evanesia's banner, which is like, yes. Thank you, man. What if you get unlucky, though? Then I can still get S1 or E1. It doesn't matter. If we're truly getting like 90 pulls on 4.1, I currently have 68 pity. I'm sitting on 13 pulls. And I have 25 pity on the Lycone banner. So even worst case scenario loss and then soft pity again, I'd still be able to get one of the two. Either E1 or S1. By the way, if you guys are wondering why this account is so stacked, it's because this is the only account I spend money on, at least on like direct Jades for. So we got the E2S1 Cassie, the E2S1 Evernight, E0S0, E0S0, soon to change, E1S1 200 Speed Yao Guang, E0S1 Fei, just a Sunday there. E0S1 Archer, the Lycone is on someone else. Sponkler, PT, Blade? Yeah, E1 Blade. And an Oxa, and that's it. Oh, really? Tight. That's cool. I mean, you're pretty active in my chat, Tact. You come by most of the time.
Thank you so much for your help this time.
That's a stacked account? Yeah. It's mainly only stacked for one team currently, though. Like, for those who don't know why it is I did this, the entire point of this account is... It wasn't necessarily mono rem. It didn't start off that way. It was full Cassie shill and investment, right? Like, full Cassie shill. She just happened to end up getting Evernight and fucking Cyrene, which I was like, fuck, dude. But, yeah. There's more limited into this team than literally anything else by a mile.
Our story is far from over.
This account gonna pull Silverwolf? No. That's the, what's it called account? The speedrun one. Can you clear a plate? No, this isn't enough. I think clearing plate requires like 13 or 14 cost. Maybe. Let me check. Where is it? sk.theherda.com. Anomaly plate. All clears. Yeah, the lowest cost for Cassie. Oh, it's 11. It's 11. It's E2 Cassie. Wait, with Battle Pass cones, though. Without Battle Pass cones, it's 14. I mean, I guess, man.
This story deserves a perfect ending.
Is Plight and King different? Yeah, they're vastly different. Plight boss HP is like way fucking higher. Wait, Faye. Oh my god. Wait, Faye is competing with Mono Rem now because of Buff Sparkle in terms of Plight clear.
This story deserves a perfect ending.
Wait, no, Faye is doing better because he's not even using Battle Pass cones. Wow. I mean, impressive. Hello, Kage. Fei Xiao isn't getting any fucking clears against Plight at 12 cost. Fei Xiao is not getting that shit, man. Hello, Bree. Doing good, Abby. Hope you're doing well as well.
Thank you so much for your help this time. Please continue.
Can you check how Firefly is doing? Firefly is at 16 cost. Wait, that's with Battle Pass cones. Her lowest cost clear without Battle Pass cones is 36 cost. Holy shit. Wow. That's hefty, bro. What is the name of the site? sk.theherda.com. You didn't say what Phanon's was? Phanon's was 12. 12 cost. Can you check Sparksy? Sparksy is at 16, but it's kinda, well, not kinda, it's heavy overkill. So Sparksy clears it in at 16 cost with 200 or in 223 AV, which is, it basically means she has more than half of the AV left when she cleared. So I don't think you even need that much cost.
It's squishy.
Thank you so much for your help this time.
It seems like Sparksy in a sustain team with Donhung PT is stronger than Firefly. Yeah. So there's a sustain one at the same cost. I'm assuming sustainless Sparksy is just decently hard for these guys. And it's better than Firefly by a mile. Just wait for Ho Abby. What characters did Phanon use? E2 Cyrene, E1 Saridra, E2 Buff Sparkle. Because, okay, so before E2 Cyrene didn't have as much value, because kind of the entire point of E2 Cyrene is that you no longer need Chrysos Heirs on the team to get Phanon into his ult anymore. Like, that's not a struggle. And it allows you to use another support option that may be stronger. But this didn't really apply until Buff Sparkle came out. But now that Buff Sparkle came out and she's like the strongest Harmony Amper, I guess Phanon got buffed by that significantly. What is Plight? Plight is the AA King boss if you don't clear the Knights at the beginning. That's what it is. The boss is like 3 to 4 times as HP inflated. And they do like way more fucking damage against you if you do that. How much more is it with Sunday? I don't know. Probably a lot more. Because they're using E2 Sparkle specifically. It's not, like, base Sparkle is already a way stronger buffer than Sunday. But then you also have her E2, which stacks the defense shred for Phanon more, which he really likes.
Thank you so much for your help this time. Please continue to support the
So the difference is even larger at E2. Yeah, Carlos?
Have you heard? Reach out to Keeper for
Is Hyacine E1 or S1 better for Mono Rem? E1.
Thank you so much for your help this time. Please continue to support
S1 is better for like general use with Hyacine. E1 is better for Mono Rem though. Thank you.
Have you heard? Reach out to me for Warlock's work.
Is Silverwolf going to be free to play? I already have Yao Guang and Sparksy.
Thank you so much.
I mean, what do you mean by free to play? If you have Yao Guang and Sparksy, all you need to do is get Silverwolf and you're done. And get the buffed Woho from 4.2 golden token. Do you mean like no Lycones?
Reach out to me for Warlock's work.
Yeah, I don't know. Sparksy kind of wants her Lycone a lot, but that's currently like calced for her hyper carry, not as a sub DPS, in which it would matter probably less. Yao Guang doesn't really need her Lycone either. It's nice for ER gen in 0 cycles, but that's kind of it. So it just depends on Silverwolf, to be honest. I have the Battle Pass Lycone for Sparksy. Oh, well, that helps. It's snowing like crazy outside, man. I was originally gonna go out before I stream today, but holy shit, if you guys could see the snow.
It's squishy.
I mean, I agree that placing value on plight clears is dumb, but what plight clears do help someone see is how good a team's vertical investment will be able to carry them in the future. Right. That's kind of what most people look at plight for. Because, like, for example, what's it called? Like, HSR's HP inflation is pretty quick. Like, I'm not saying we're going to get plight boss numbers this version, but we could see plight boss HP numbers in, like, V5. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you so much.
I'm talking about, like, on normal MOCs, by the way. Or, like, near it. But then again, V5 is, like, a year from now, so... It's just for people who are really dedicated towards a team slash DPS they really like. Like I am with Mono Rem, for example. Like this Mono Rem is soon going to be like 11 or 12 cost. And I won't have to worry about shit of if I can clear endgame content. I can spend the rest of the entirety of this version solely focusing on either verticaling on Evanesia or getting whoever the fuck I want.
Thank you so much for your help this time. Please.
So,
Come on in and take a look at it.
Can Phanon clear plight without insane investment? We were just talking about it like a little bit ago. Phanon actually has one of the best plight clears apparently at 12 cost. The only people who have better plight clears than Faye against Sparksy currently are Mono Rem but Evernight hyper carry, and then Mono Rem again but Hyacine hyper carry. Mono Rem is a bunch of bullshit, man. I mean, it's not technically hyper carry, but Cass does way more fucking damage when she's the main DPS at Mono Rem as compared to everybody else. Was the Phanon clear? Yeah, exactly. You already got it. Well, no, actually. I don't think it's that many Lycones. Because that would be 3, 4, 4, 3. Yeah, that would be too much cost. Because it's a 12 cost clear. It is. Let me check for you. It's E2S1 Faye, E2 S0 Cyrene on RMC Lycone from the Herda shop. E2 Sparkle with S5, I think that's past and future. And E1 DDD Ceridra. So no Lycones on the supports, just the Eidolons. And then E2 S1 Faye. Although, I will add one, little fun fact here. It does count Buff Sparkle as a cost. And a lot of people got Buff Sparkle for free, right? Or Eidolons for free. So, if you do consider one of Sparkle's copies free, he is actually on par with Mono Rem. All I'm going to say. Wait, no. Wait. No, he's stronger than Mono Rem. I just realized the Cassie clears with Battle Pass cones. Non-Battle Pass, it turns into 14 cost. So it's more like he's on par with Evernight Hyper Carry. Yeah, I guess Buff Sparkle made Phanon's vertical just way stronger now, which is really cool. I mean, I'd prioritize Sari before Cyrene, probably. You're not cooked. Phanon is still getting, like, no best in slot teammate 0 cycles against MOC at E2. You're fine. Once again, Phanon is like the, Phanon's the only one in the entirety of Amphorius whose best MOC clears don't have any of his supports. Or his dedicated supports. Which I really appreciate Phanon for.
Thank you so much for your help this time. Please continue to support my work in the future.
I don't care how filler 4.1 is. I already knew it was going to be a filler to begin with anyways. You only have one new limited character. and it's fucking 4 weeks long before the Annie. Everybody's just gonna be watching the 4.2 beta and waiting for the Annie instead. Well, like 99% of people at least.
Gotta wanna keep going. Thank you so much for your help this time.
Yeah. I just want 4.2 beta to hit already. I want to see what they do with the Nova Flares, and I want to see the power level of like the new strongest DPS team.
Have you heard? Reach out to me for Perlex support.
What's better to get right now, E1 Siri or E2 Sparkle? If you already own both and you're only like one cost off, it would be E2 Sparkle.
Thank you so much for your help this time.
Well, yeah, if your goal is simply to clear within 10 cycles, this game is like piss easy. People really over exaggerate it. Like, for example, my free to play Anoxa account can clear endgame MOC in 2 cycles. Everybody was clowning it a few patches ago, pre-free buff Sparkle. And when I had no best in slots for Anoxa, I still don't have Cyrene, but now I have buff Sparkle and Ceridra. And it's just fucking, like, I'm good for a long ass time. I mean, even with that tactician, we have gotten Jiao Q and Sunday Nova Flares leaked. The possibility of them happening. We have gotten Huohuo and Robin Golden Token Shop confirmation. We've gotten Fake Collab possibility, Part 2 and 4.4. And we've gotten leaked the upcoming 50-50 lost characters of Yunli, Nova Silverwolf, and what's the other one? Argenti? So yeah, like even though we're having problems with the current beta delay and shit, it's still way better than Wuwa somehow. Wuwa leakers are just weird, man. I don't know. It's like annoying. I don't know what Wuwa leakers are doing. I'd understand, right? Like you say you're scared to leak. Like for example, a lot of these HSR leakers say they're scared to leak. And but the thing is the HSR leakers, like they straight up almost just completely stop leaking in general, right? These Wuwa leakers will keep leaking again and again and again and then act like they're scared to leak. It's kind of annoying.
Thank you so much for your help this time.
Seal is getting canceled on Twitter. I don't care, bro. I'm not even gonna try and like slander Seal for this entire beta shit because you need to keep in mind this is the first time this has ever happened in the history of HSR. So I'm not even gonna like. Yes, it's been annoying that they kept giving beta dates, but I do think they genuinely believed that those would be the beta dates. No, this isn't about hating on Seal Nova Flare. This is about Seal leaks.
Thank you so much for your help this time. Please continue to support.
Yeah, supposedly it was actually an Ashvale V5 that didn't change anything instead of 4.2 beta. Oh, no, no, no. I remember. Okay, okay. So, the newest beta, I remember seeing it on Twitter. I think this is the one. It's because they're testing the Pom Pom AI. If you guys would remember, we got a leak a little bit ago that they were adding like an AI to make Pom Pom what's it called? Um like more interactive and shit. Yeah, that's what it was.
Thank you so much for your help this time. Please continue to support.
Yeah, it's like a Pom Pom chatbot. It's probably not actually a 50 gigabytes update. I don't know why you guys think it's going to be 50 gigs. 50 gigs is probably the entire game itself. No, it's not actually 50 gigs. You guys are crazy if you think that.
Thank you so much for your help this time. Please.
You guys need to understand, right? Put it in perspective. HSR in its entirety, and it nearly being 3 years old, is like 80 gigs. And if you delete past mission resources, it's even less. Like, HSR is not about to increase by more than half of its space after 3 years over fucking Pom Pom AI.
Thank you so much for your help this time.
Yeah, 90. I think 17th is likely. 17th was the original beta date almost all leakers agreed with. And then it was Seal who said they thought it might be earlier. So 17th is the most reliable date.
Reach out to Paper for web support filter.
Thank you so much for your help this time. Please continue.
Mm-mm-mm. Alright, chat. I think I'm going to end the short stream here. Appreciate you all stopping by. Sorry for the little bit of a crash out at the beginning of the stream. Hope you all have a great day. Hope you all have a great night.